Swayam Rupa Hakanamaham Dadati Swahanam Vanchadalpa Krudhasya Kadasindhu Yaivacha Kitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Vishnu Bhagavate Krishna Krishnaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Nirvana Tatyasamaya Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gauravani Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much, everybody, for turning up today. Just wondering what I should speak about is always an issue. There's so much to talk about that, it's like sometimes you go to a feast and you see there's so many items to eat, and then you wonder which ones you're going to eat, which ones you're going to pick up and start eating. There's so much out there. So I thought today, if I have your permission, I'll speak about why we are so focused on the holy name. Why is it that we're always chanting Hare Krishna? Why are we known as the Hare Krishnas, and what is this big deal about the holy name and Hare Krishna like that? So, the holy name of the Lord is not different from the Lord because the Lord is absolute. When something is absolute, someone is absolute, whatever is in connection with him is also absolute. And the difference between the absolute and the relative is that if you call out the name of the person, by calling out the name of a person, it is not that that person is personally present. Like, say, for example, if I say Obama, it doesn't mean the President of the United States of America is sitting right next to me, and he appears. Imagine if I said Obama, and poof, he appears right here, and he says, "Yes, what may I do for you?" Okay, that is because our names are relative; they're not absolute names. Krishna and his name are not different. He is absolute. His name is not absolute as well. So when we take his name, he is personally present in the form of his name. Now we might say, well, you may say that, but I don't see Krishna. I don't see Krishna. I don't even feel Krishna. Some of us who are chanting may say, I don't even feel Krishna, or to speak of seeing Krishna. I don't observe, I don't feel his presence. I don't notice. That is because when we are chanting his holy name, we are, in a sense, in the practice phase. Just like when you go to school and you're practicing to become an attorney at law school, and they ask you to do a mock trial at law school. You don't expect to be paid in that mock trial, like an attorney would expect to be paid if he actually went to trial. Because in the mock trial, you're preparing yourself. It's a practice session. It's not the actual session like that. So in the early phases of our chanting, we're in the practice phase. We're in what is called the inattentive phase. We're calling out to Krishna, but we're really thinking about so many other things. We're thinking about different relationships. We're thinking about, money is a big thing people think about as well. Other objects of enjoyment, like that. That's what they're really thinking about. They're not really into Krishna. Somehow they feel like maybe there is some value in chanting Hare Krishna, so I'm chanting. But really, my heart's not totally into it. I'm not totally into it. So Krishna knows that. Krishna waits the opportunity when he feels that we're totally sincere and we do want to have a relationship with him. Because, in a sense, the sad truth is that we were in the spiritual world with Krishna and we left him and came to the material world because we wanted to see how it felt enjoying separately from him. So now that we've come, in a sense, we spurned him. And just like any spurned lover, when the when the ex-beloved turns towards the lover again, the lover is going to be careful this time. He's not safe. The boy has fallen in love. Well, let's take Romeo and Juliet, because that's an easy example. Most people know Romeo and Juliet. So if Romeo leaves Juliet, say he spurns Juliet, and not that he did that, but imagine that he does. But he just moves away, goes away, it's a faithful wife. So when he comes back to her and says, I really love you, I think Juliet is going to not accept that immediately. She's going to say, yeah, right, of course you did. You really did, why did you leave me the first time? Like that. So Krishna wants to see that we're sincere. But there is proof, actual proof, scientific proof, that even in the practice phase, there is effect. There are results that happen. And this is why the devotees chant Hare Krishna, because they've seen that for themselves, So I'm going to tell you a story from the Mahabharata to elucidate the value of the holy name. So, how many of you have heard about this Battle of Kurukshetra, Mahabharata war? Most of you have, right? And some of you have not. Who has not? Actually, that's who's not. Okay, this was a battle. It was an intergalactic warfare that happened around, you might say, 5,500 years ago. And it included this planet. The war actually happened on this planet. And in that war, the war was a war between two families that were related. Actually related, those two families were related. But both those families were vying for the emperorship of the world. Now in this world there are kings, but there are no emperors right now. An emperor is the king of all the kings. So a king has a kingdom, a certain amount of kingdom. A queen may have a kingdom, a certain amount of place that he or she rules over. But the person who rules over all those kings and queens is called the emperor. So at that time, the emperorship was at stake. And the emperorship included not just this planet, but some of the other planets as well. There was more intergalactic travel. It's coming back again. We're figuring out how to do it in cycles. Things go in cycles. Mankind sort of does very well, becomes really smart, and then becomes too intelligent and destroys itself. It goes back to scratch again and starts all over again. Like that. But things come in cycles. So this was a cycle when everybody was at the very, very peak of success. And so there were amazing things that they were able to do. Don't get too much caught into, well, it doesn't sound real or sounds real. Just wait for the part, the story I want to come to. I'm just giving you a little bit of a background. Okay. So these two families were both very powerful families. The prince of one certain family was to become the emperor, but because he was young, the uncle was given emperorship to hold as trustee until the prince grew of age. And when the prince would grow of age, then he would become the emperor. So when the prince grew of age, the uncle had sons as well, and the eldest son said, "Oh, I should be the next emperor." Obviously, he had tasted the great benefits of being an emperor, because obviously an emperor is served hand and foot. Princes in the family are served hand and foot. The princesses are served hand and foot like that. So obviously, once you've tasted that, it's hard to let go of such a great privilege, such a great value. So they wouldn't let go, and it got to the stage where the uncle and his family were committing a lot of atrocities. So the time came for the atrocities to be corrected. So what ensued was a major war. And because there was more than one planet involved, it's called an intergalactic warfare. And, it's amazing. People came from different places to fight this battle. Battles were fought on land, they fought in the sea, they fought in the air, they fought in many places, huge battles. So what happened was, at the time, on the side of the prince, whose name was Yudhishthira, he had 4 other brothers who were fighting alongside, so there were 5 brothers. And one of the brothers named Bhima. Now Bhima, his speciality was he liked to eat a lot. He loved eating food. He was a voracious eater. when time came for fasting, he was the only one who wouldn't fast, because he couldn't fast. He just had to eat some food. There's no way he could fast. So he was given some dispensation. The type of fasting that happens, we call it the Ekadashi fast, happens 26 times a year. And so he was given the dispensation. You will only have to do it once, and it became known as the Panga Nirjala Ekadashi. So that is why we fast without even water on that day. So he was quite a character. This guy was quite a character. He was a very powerful person, extremely powerful. We say that he could battle 10 elephants at the same time, simultaneously. Just him alone, 10. His height was around 25 feet. His chest was 6 feet broad. And these guys were big guys. We're puny compared to the guys who were existing at that time. You know, in size, we're puny. We're not even midgets at that time. The midgets were about 15 feet high. So anyway, so Bhima, being a very, very adventurous person when it came to food, one day ventured out to the forest, and there was a king in the forest, king of that forest, a very beautiful daughter. Somehow the two, associated with one another. They didn't have, nothing happened, but they just became friends. So the king said, no way, now that you have befriended my daughter, you'll have to marry my daughter. You're not getting away with this. Nobody comes to know my daughter and then not marry her, because at the time, it was an insult if the daughter had a relationship with somebody and that person didn't marry her. It would seem like there was something wrong with the daughter. That's why the person wouldn't marry her. So it was an insult. The king of the forest doesn't understand such an insult. So he had to marry her. Got married. And they had a child. The child's name was Gatorgash. It's a long name. Let's call him Gator for short. Anyway, so this boy Gator turned out to be an even more powerful person. He would he could fly into the air 600, 700 feet. He had such capacity. This guy was just like unusual personality. Really powerful personality, Coming together from both the father and the mother. Father was very powerful, the mother was equally capable, and the child turned out to be a real prodigy child. Now this Gatorgash also got married and had another child, whose name is Ramba. So, at the time of the battle of Kurukshetra, when this battle ensued, Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, gave a choice to the two families. Which family would like to have me on the side of the battle for the battle, and which family would like to have my army, Krishna's army? Now Krishna's army prior to that, was undefeated. It had fought many battles, and not one member of Krishna's army would even get hurt, and they would win the war. And that's unheard of in warfare. Even when the Americans attacked Afghanistan, Afghanistan is pretty much throwing sticks and stones at the American bombers. It was really a one-sided war. These guys had no technology compared to the Americans, but still, Americans lost their lives in Afghanistan. Some did, you see what I'm saying? In any warfare, you're going to lose lives, some lives. The idea is to come away with the least lives lost and win the battle. Well, in Krishna's army's case, they win the battle sort of hands down without any of their soldiers being hurt. That's how powerful his army was. So Duryodhana, who was the son of this uncle, the uncle's name was Dhritarashtra. Let's call him Doctor. Doctor now. So Doctor, his son, his name was Duryodhana. For short, let's go. Makes it easy. When you don't know these words, long words, it confuses you. You get stuck in the word, you forget the story. So this boy Dura, who was the prince at the time, and therefore the aspiring king, because his father is the emperor, he asked Krishna for his army. He said, what good are you one person? I'd rather be an army. So if you did not go to the army's on our side. We already got the most powerful warriors on our side, most powerful military on our side. Add Krishna's army to that, it's invincible. Our side will be invincible. So that's what they did. And Yudhishthira had a younger brother, his name was Arjuna. And Arjuna said, well, I'll have Krishna on our side. So that's how the division was. And Krishna also had made a promise that in this choice you have to remember, I will not fight, Krishna said. My army will fight, but I will not fight. I will not take a weapon up to fight. So then Duryodhana thought that, what's the point of having Krishna on my side? He's not going to fight anyway. May as well have the army, because they're going to fight. So then the battle ensues between these two parties. And it's a very, very powerful war, huge. Yeah. There are 64 million soldiers lined up on both sides of the battlefield. It's quite a few soldiers. These days wars had about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 people lined up. And that's considered like almost like a world war going on. I mean, this is 64 million, huge numbers. Anyway, and these are and it's also intergalactic, not just from Earth planet, from other planets as well. Really powerful battle. War. So the battle ensues. Now, we all in our lives have something we really enjoy. If we have that, we always become happy. For some of us, it's well, let's talk about children. Children love candy, right? You show them candy, and sort of like their life brightens up. It's like candy. Oh my God! That's why there's a saying in English, like a kid in the candy store. So happy to like a kid in the candy store. So in the same way, this boy, son of Vittorio, he loved to fight. His ecstasy was fighting. He was in ecstasy that there was this battle going on. He was in total ecstasy, just completely ecstatic with fighting. Then one day, while the battle is going on, he comes to his father and he says, I'm not feeling very good. Father said, why? You're pretty tight, right? There's a battle going on. You love battles. You love war. So there's a war going on. What's wrong? He says, I think we're winning. You should be happier that we're winning, right? You like to fight, and we're winning. That's good. No, I don't want us to win. So why? So then the war will be over. I don't want the war to be over. I want the war to carry on. The more it goes on, the more I'm going to enjoy it. So he says, what do you think we should do? Father, so the son says, I think I'm going to fight from the other side. I'm going to go and join the other side, and I'm going to level the playing field. Now he was quite a soldier himself. Father said, son, it's not a very good idea. I think, because the other side is really not very righteous. They do have problems on their side. They were causing a lot of atrocities, and we're trying to bring justice back again. We're trying to bring the world back to justice. It's not right to fight on the side of the people who are causing atrocities. He said, well, that may be true, but then the battle will be over. And then what will I do after that? What's the meaning of life after that? Life has no value. Battle is life. That gives me life. So he kept arguing with the father, and the father said, no. And he said, no, I think I'm just going to go. The father said, look, why don't you do this? Why don't you go and speak to Grandpa? Go and speak to Bhima and get his blessing before you go to the other side. So he goes to Bhima. And he says, same thing. Grandpa says, I'm not feeling happy. We're winning this battle. I need to level the playing field. I need to go to the other side and fight. Grandpa says, grandson, please don't do that. Don't do that. That's a big mistake. You're making a big mistake. You should not do that. That's the wrong thing to do. So he keeps arguing with the grandfather, and the grandfather says, okay, well, if you just have to go, why don't you go to Krishna and take his blessing before you go? So he sends him to Krishna. So now he's talking to Krishna, and he says to Krishna the same thing. And Krishna says, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think you should go to the other side. No, I have to, otherwise my life is meaningless. So Krishna says, well, if that's what makes you happy, go ahead. And he said, do I give you blessings? And he says, how can I give you harm will befall you. How can I bless someone to have harm befall them? You can't expect them to do that. So he starts walking away. He's walking away. He's realizing that, no, I need to have some blessings. I can't just walk away like this. So he comes back to Krishna and he says, okay, Krishna. He says, can you grant me one boon? He says, what is that boon? He says, when I die, if I go on the other side and I die untimely, I want my head to stay alive. He says, why? He says, I want to see the whole world. I want my head to stay alive. Okay, all right. Your wish is granted. As soon as he goes on the other side, his head comes off. And he's lying on the ground and he's watching the war continue. As soon as he crosses the line of control, army on this side, army on the other, he crosses over, gone, head down. Now he's watching the war. The war happens, the war ends, the 5 princes win, the ones who were supposed to have the emperorship, they win the war. So after they won the war, Bhima is feeling a lot of ecstasy. He's just beside himself in ecstasy. So Arjuna is asking him, why do you feel so happy? Because so many people died in this war. It's not really nice that we had this battle, but why are you so happy? He says, I'm so happy. I killed that Duryodhana. He insulted my wife, and ever since he insulted my wife, my blood has been boiling. I've been thinking, when can I get a hold of his neck, and I'm going to wring his neck, And I was able to do that, and I'm so happy. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling vindicated. How dare he tried to insult my wife? Because Duryodhana had tried to, insult Bhima's wife of the princess, Draupadi. Tried to, in fact, rape her. It's really terrible. So anyway, so then, and as he's talking, Bhima is saying, I'm so happy, I killed so many people. I know I killed the most number of people on the other side. So then, Yudhishthira says, I don't think you killed most people. I think Arjuna killed most number of people on the other side. So Yudhishthira says, no, I don't think I killed the most number. I think, Yudhishthira, you killed the most number of people. I saw the way you were fighting. You're killing so many people on the other side. And you said, no, I was just trying to protect you. I saw you fighting so well. I thought until you're fighting, we'll win this war. So I was trying to protect you. So, So, and then the other 2 brothers, Nakul and Sahadev, they're more like astrologers, They didn't kill many people. So we know we're not the ones who killed most people. But they didn't know who killed the most. Now they needed to find out who is the one of the 5 who actually did the most harm to the army on the other side. So then Bhima remembers that his grandson is on the other side with his head alive. Says, I know a person can tell us who killed how many people. And so so they went over to this boy's head and they said to him, so how are you doing? He said, I'm not feeling very good. He said, why? He said, the war is over. Why did you guys fight so quickly? What was the rush? You could have taken it easy a little. Let me enjoy a little longer. Now the movie's over. What am I supposed to do now? I've been having popcorn and Coke all this while and enjoying the movie now. The movie's over. What am I supposed to do? So he says, well, the uncle said, look, we've got a very important question to ask you. Do you know everything about this war? I know everything about this war. He had all the stats ready, all the stats, all the statistics. How many people fought which side? All this, it's just like when people become interested in something, they keep statistics, right? They keep figures about everything. They know everything. They have a graph. They have those things that go up, squiggly up and squiggly down, and all the different types of graphs and everything. And this guy had everything. He started rattling out all these figures and numbers and thinking, wow, this guy's scientific, man. He not only loves the war, he's like so much into it. He's into every detail of the war, which weapon was used, which type of metal was used to make that weapon, who was the manufacturer of that weapon, and how that weapon was superior to the other one, and he started rattling off everything, and he said, whoa. Too much information here. We have got a simple question to ask you. Please answer the question. Do you know who killed how many people in this war? I don't know exactly who killed how many people in this war. I got total answer. So he said, so tell us, amongst us 5, who killed the most people? So none of you. So what? No, we were the ones who were fighting on this side. We were killing a lot of people. So it must have been one of us. Was none of you. So who killed the most people? He said, all I saw was Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra flying everywhere and chopping everybody's head off. What? You mean to say that everybody was killed by Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra? I said, yes. Every person was killed by Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. By no other method was anybody killed. Then Arjuna remembered, Krishna had said, right? I already killed everyone. I just want you to do your duty. I want you to do your duty. Arjuna said, oh my God, I never thought. You know? But Krishna, then they went to Krishna, and Krishna, you promised. You will not use your weapon to fight. You will not fight, not use your weapon. You will not fight. How is it that your weapon? He says, well, I told Sudarshan to stick with me, but the guy wouldn't listen. He took off. He just said, how dare anybody try to fight with my master? So he started going and killing everybody. So he said, what can I do? I didn't say that my weapon is not going to fight. I said, I am not going to fight. My weapon went around on its own. I didn't instruct the weapon to go and kill anybody. It just went around and killed everyone. What can I do? That's what it was. So the acharyas discuss this issue. They say in the same way, we may think we are the doers, but actually it is the holy name that is the doer. And where is the proof for us? The proof is in book distribution. The proof is in any service that you do at that analysis. The book distributors will tell you that before they go out doing book distribution, they will make sure they chant their rounds. True? These guys are book distributors, some book distributors, powerful book distributors. Don't you get your rounds done before you go out? Yes.
When I do chant my round, concentration,
Simple. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing results happen. And it's actually true for all of us. It is actually true for all of us. The more you associate with the holy name, the more productivity there will be, in our services. And service is an expression of love. So our expression of love will multiply when we chant the holy name of the Lord, when we associate with the holy name of the Lord, because the holy name is the doer. Kartanam iti manyate java, Krishna says. The world thinks that they are the doer, but in actuality, I am the one who is the cause. I am the cause. So, in terms of the holy name, one should take the holy name. But also, in chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, one should act according to one's own nature. So how do we act according to one's nature? Well, in this world, there's a thing they call vision and mission. That, like when businesses run, or corporations run, or cities run, they will have a vision statement and a mission statement. This is our vision, and this is our mission. Like that. So actually, the Vedas prescribe the same thing, that every person should have a vision and mission. The vision is, what is it that I would like to achieve in my life? What is the ultimate purpose that I would like to achieve in my life? Is one's vision. And the mission are the steps you're going to take to reach that point. In simple speak, one way to say it is that the vision is like the stars, and the mission is the steps you're going to take to reach the stars. So it's described in our Vedas that when we are crafting our vision, there are three elements that are most important. Those three elements are, sustainable has become a big word. They talk about sustainable economy, sustainable agriculture, sustainable,
Sustainable development.
Yeah, sustainable development. This word sustainable has become a very big word now. And that word is there in the Vedas also. It's there. That is, the vision must be sustainable. Otherwise, if it's not sustainable, then obviously it's not going to be a vision, is it? The second is that it should be based on truth, based on knowledge, based on cognizance, like that. It should be something that's cognizant, something that in reality pans out. It's knowledge, it's truth, like that. And the third element of that vision is that it must bring happiness. It must make one blissful. Because if one doesn't achieve bliss from that vision, then without that, the purpose is lost. The purpose of life is to be happy, I've said in the past. To be happy and to give happiness to others is the purpose of life. So these three elements in the vision are the most powerful elements of a vision statement. And if the vision statement reflects these things, something that is sustainable, something that in actuality relates to reality, to knowledge, to truth, and actually brings about happiness, just by even reading the vision statement, somebody should start feeling happy. If I read somebody's vision statement and I don't feel happy, that vision statement is a lacking vision statement. That stage statement is not drawn properly. Now, to be something that will cause bliss, one should recognize that we are emotional beings, that emotions are extremely important. I was saying the other day there are 33 major emotions. Each of these emotions have 1 million feelings associated with them. There are 33 million feelings. Okay? So please, feelings are very important. They're very important. Now people may say, well, you guys are liberals, you're liberals, what do you talk about feelings? Everybody has feelings. Who's not in feelings? Whether you're conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, communist, capitalist, atheist, theist, man, woman, tall, short, fat, skinny, whichever you want to look at it, doesn't make no difference. We're all into feelings. We're all into feelings. So, understand that the vision should evoke emotion. It should evoke the emotion of anticipation, of pleasure, of happiness, the word I'm looking for is curiosity. It should make you feel like, wow, I'd like to know more about that. And this is interesting. Otherwise it's blasé, it's boring. Who wants boring? There's already a lot of boring going on in our life. You don't need to add one more boring in the form of a vision statement. So these are the three elements of the vision statement. Now, the mission statement is also very important. The mission statement are the steps you're going to take. So the mission statement should be time dated. By this year, something. This is the mission, by this year. Because what's going to happen is, you're not going to achieve your full vision in one mission statement. That mission statement will carry you to one point, then another mission statement will carry you to the next point, then the next mission statement will carry you to the next point until you get to the vision. Because the vision is so big, it's not going to happen in the short term. It's a little long term. And there are a number of short terms that are going to happen prior to reaching that long term, like that. So the mission statement also has three elements in it. The first element of the mission statement is relationship. It is all about relationships. Understand this well. If you don't understand relationships, you may as well be an inanimate object. Even inanimate objects have relationships. Did you know that? They tested it in Oklahoma. What they did was, they had a grandfather clock. And they have these pendulum swing, right? The grandfather clock. And then they put 49 other grandfather clocks. After they put the first one in, they put 49 others, and had them all swinging with different, what do you call it?
Tempo.
It's the tempo, yeah. What do you call the stuff that goes back and forth? What's the word?
Pendulum.
Not pendulum. Yeah, it's a pendulum, yeah, but it's not pendulating. What is it called? It's swinging. Okay, it's swinging. But it's not the same swing, It's like different swings, right? All 50 different swings. And the original one, they marked the original one. That the original one was swinging in a certain manner. It had a particular swing. And the other ones had 49 different swings that were different from, and they were different from each other, and they were also different from the first one. 15 years. All of them were swinging exactly like the one that was swinging at the first one. 50 years is all it took. All of them were swinging exactly the same. Even inanimate objects have relationships. Please. It's a big thing in this world because a lot of people are so burnt out with relationships. They don't want relationships. They don't want relationships. It burns them people out. Of course it's going to burn you out when you have relationships that are not compatible. You need to have compatible relationships. Emotions are important. Feelings are important. Watch the emotions and feelings of that person. Don't dive into another person's relationship when that person is not meant for you. Don't feel like I'm God, everybody has to bow down to me. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So, this is an important part of relationship. The original relationship is with the Supreme Lord, because that's where we originated. You can't have that original pendulum, then the others are not going to swing to a unison. You get the point? That's the original pendulum. Watch the original pendulum. Everything else will fall into place. Second is process. Process is very important. How you do things is very important. So the mission statement should actually express how things are going to happen. What is going to happen? That we're going to chant the holy names of the Lord, whatever, We're going to do Harinam, however we describe it, but for different people it's different things. But the how is extremely important. How are you going to go about doing what you're going to do? It should be stated in the mission statement. And the third thing is the goal. The goal must be stated. What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve through that mission statement? Should come out very clearly in the mission statement. So people are extremely clear what this organization's mission is. Extremely clear. Now, translate that on our personal level is what I'm talking about. We need to do that for ourselves. But then we're going to be properly directed. Otherwise, we're going to be like twigs floating in the river. Just floating, aimlessly floating. Yeah, you're going to achieve some things in life, but nothing like the potential. Nothing like the potential. Potential comes from organizing yourself personally, so that you know what you want. You know what you've got to do. And then you know how to build your relationships accordingly. You know how to organize your day accordingly. You know how to do things in a way that's going to bring bliss into your life. If you're not happy, how are you going to give any happiness to anybody else? A beggar doesn't give bank loans to people. You see beggars giving loans out to people, lending money to people. They don't have money to lend. They beg people. Same way, if I'm miserable, I'm not going to give happiness to others. I have to be happy. Then I can give happiness to others. Hare Krishna, I'm going to stop there. I can keep talking. That's my problem. I got an unlimited mouth.
Could you elaborate more on sustainability?
Very good. Sustainability is a product of the longing of the heart. Longing of the heart. It's the product of the longing of the heart. I'm not going to speak inside the box. I'm not an in-the-box person. You'll notice when you hear me. You'll hear things that you'll think, I never heard that before. Where did that one come from? Like that. It's actually, I'm repeating Prabhupada's words. I'm into Prabhupada. For me, it's whatever Prabhupada says. What I want to. So anyway, this longing of the heart is real. It's why people should do things the way their heart says they should do things. Like, say, for example, when kids go into college, they often ask, what should I study? And I have the same answer for all of them. What is it that you think will make you happy? Right? Do that. Don't look at it from the point of your career. Oh, which career is paying the most amount of money? Let me study that. That's going to be a mess. You're going to be doing something you probably don't like to do, and you're going to make everybody mad around you too, because you're going to be hopping mad. And what does a hopping mad person do? Makes everybody else hopping mad too, right? So, don't do that. Do what you love, and no matter what you love, everything will come. All the side effects will be there. All the side products will be there. All the byproducts will be there. So what is sustainable? What is sustainable is the longing of the heart, the yearning of the heart. And that, in religious speak, is called faith. But it's also faith in material life. Like some people have faith in chocolates, right? How can you tell a person has faith in chocolates? You go to their house, you'll see a lot of chocolates in their house. When they see chocolate, their life starts turning, they start smiling. Their life turns around. It's like, I can live again, I can breathe again. I can see a chocolate. You see what I'm saying? That means they have faith in chocolate. That's what faith is. It's the longing of the heart. It can be something material, it can be something spiritual. Spiritual is sustainable, material is not. Because material, the nature of material is that it has a beginning point and an end point. End point things are not sustainable. Something that is going to die is not sustainable. Something that is going to live is called sustainable. Right? That's just the English dictionary definition of sustainable. That it has to continue existing. Sustainable means it has to. Well, we have an attorney right here. What would an attorney say does the word sustainable mean? Definition for you.
That it can go on.
Yeah, endlessly, right? Endlessly would be sustainable. What is endless? What can go on endlessly? Something spiritual can go on endlessly. Material things have a birth point and a death point. That's why they call material. There's nothing wrong with what is material. It's just it's temporary. What is an example that's of something that's temporary?
These bodies.
Sorry?
These bodies.
The body, and body is a little more sustainable. But let's say your toothbrush. Right? Do you expect your toothbrush to last all your life? No. It's going to come a point in time that thing's going to give up on you. You know, the bristles start going this way instead of sticking out. This will like start coming the other way. Start pointing downwards, you know, telling you, my life's over. Change me. You know, give a new one. By the way, those who make toothbrushes say you should change the toothbrush every 6 months. I don't think everybody does it, but anyway, that's what they say. Of course, the idea is to sell more toothbrushes too. You have to remember that. But anyway, point is, material things have a beginning point and an end point, and so they're not sustainable. They're partially sustainable. You may use partially sustainable to reach a fully sustainable item, just like stepping stones, right? You can use stepping stones to reach a destination. So in that sense, sustainable, but there's another part of sustainable. It's a very, very important part. Without that, sustainable doesn't mean anything, and that is it should be scalable. Scalable. S-C-A. Scalable. L-A.
You have to be able to measure it.
Sorry? Yes.
Scalable,
Thank you.
measurable.
Yeah, it's measurable, but not just measurable. Scalable also means that it keeps expanding, it keeps becoming bigger. See? You notice that in our lives? We have things, now we want something bigger, right? You look at businesses. Businesses are a perfect example of this. You know, a businessman starts a business thinking, if I make $1 million, I'll be a millionaire, right? And he makes $1 million. What does he do after that? 5 million, I think, will be more like it. You know, 1 million, okay. I already made $1 million. I need to make 5, then make 5, then make 10. Bill Gates makes billions of dollars. What's he got next day? Put his hand out, give me more money, right? He's out for the next level of our billion. You see what I'm saying? 5 billion, 10 billion, 50 billion. They'll soon be talking about trillion. Your business should be able to earn $1 trillion. You see what happens? That's called scalability. They only become happier if it is something that keeps growing more and more powerful. It becomes more and more relishable, more and more powerful, better quality, more quantity. Like this. Different elements of scalability. Scalability does have measuring element in it, but why? Not that it can be measured, but the measurement is for the purpose of seeing, are you increasing, or are you leveling off, or are you tapering off? You see what I'm saying? Measurement will tell you that. Is your graph going this way? Is your graph leveling off? Or is your graph going down? That's the measure part of it. But this is more than measure. The measure is to serve the growth. So that your graph goes like this, you know, like have the sales graph. Looking at that.
Now, we're talking about personal growth. If sustainability is a longing of the heart, it sounds like the lure of becoming.
No, lure would mean there's no emotion involved. A lure is only a lure without emotion. The moment you add an emotion, it's real. You see, you notice when you have a lure for something, there's no emotion there. There is a potential emotion coming, and you're drawn by the potential emotion. For example, we say the lure of happiness. The lure of happiness means that happiness is not at hand. It is going to come to hand if I do something. You see what I'm saying? So the lure element is not good enough because it won't excite you.
I have to keep expanding on this because I think I'm almost there. Okay, sustainability, a longing of the heart.
Yes.
It has to be scalable,
It's
measurable,
real.
expanding.
Has to
And
be
this
real
is-
and emotional.
This is for oneself.
Oneself, yeah.
This
When we
is-
talk right
we're
now,
talking
you
about
can
on a personal
you
level.
can do it
We're
on
not
an
talking about moving millions of dollars.
you
We're
can
talking-
talk about an organizational level or on your personal. I'm talking personal level right now. Just talking personal. You can do the same thing on an organizational level, but let's not talk organizational level because I think we're persons here. We're into our own personal lives right now, and we're talking about that part. I can talk about organizations as well. I talk to businesses about this on the organizational side for them. I'm talking about individuals. Individuals, not as me, you, like that, each individual. Each and every one of us has a potential that is way beyond our most wildest dreams. Each and one has potential like that. It's a matter of harnessing that potential. So these are harnessing methods. How do you harness your potential? You already have it. It's given to you by the Lord. Now how are you going to harness it is the issue. That's what I'm talking about. In that harnessing, if you understand these certain markers, that these markers are there in the harnessing part, now you've got, like when you climb a mountain, you have something you grab onto, then you have something else to grab onto, then you put your foot onto something, now you climb a little higher, right? And then you grab onto the next one. And so you need to have your markers that you can hold on to and pull you higher in your performance. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about here. So these are markers, and they're real markers. These are not imaginary markers where, we're talking airy-fairy stuff, what we call horses' eggs or pigs that fly, and, coulda, shoulda, woulda, nothing like that. These are none of these concepts apply here. These are real concepts. These are real lifetime, life-changing elements that actually pull us up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions? Any points anybody wants to raise? Yes.
Why is it that some of us really, just when we think of the energy of God, my gosh, just thinking about that is just unfathomable because it's transcendent, it's
overwhelming.
Why is it our tendency that we can't label it, we can't call it something, and ultimately, how could it be a person?
Good point, very good point. When something is beyond your imagination, something that's beyond your imagination, obviously it's not going to be graspable. It has to come within your imagination to grasp it. You can't grasp something that's beyond your imagination. Because you can't even fathom it. Like you said, you can't fathom it, you can't figure it, nothing. Yes, the Lord is, so unlimited, so eternally unlimited, that you're right. How are you ever going to bring him down to a level that I can relate with on a one-on-one basis? You see what I'm saying? So because that happens, now first of all, let's understand the structure of me, meaning each and every one of us. The me part, the I part. Let's understand the structure. That structure starts with the senses, right? The 5 working senses. Then the mind, then the intelligence, and the false ego, and the consciousness that is attached to the soul, right? Okay, now you're constituting yourself. Okay, that's your constitution. Now, to grab something that is way beyond conception into this level, bring it to this level, and have it relate, is personally a futile exercise. It's a totally futile exercise. You're right. It actually is a futile exercise. And how do you make it happen? This is why the mission is very important. The how part is important. How do you make that happen? How can you make something that's transcendent come within the purview of something that is relative? Here we're relative, and that is transcendent. Transcendent and relative, they say, never the twain shall they meet. There's a saying like that in English. Never the twain shall they meet. Well, transcendent and relative is going like this, This guy can't figure this one out. It's just way beyond. So the process that is given is that one should call out the holy name of the Lord. Because the name of the Lord can make it happen. I can't make it happen, but the name can make it happen. So when I call out, now I'm going to give you an example, real example in this world that actually relates. When the mother gives birth to a child, a baby, okay, the baby wants to feed, right? Can the baby feed on its own? Can it go to the supermarket, buy some milk, put it in the bottle, warm it up, put it in its mouth with a nice, what do you call it? The thing that you suck on
That's okay.
the teeth,
That's okay.
what do they put in the mouth?
Pacifier.
Sorry?
Pacifier?
Yeah, the pacifier. Thank you very much. That's
Yeah.
the word I was looking for. Mothers know. Pacifier. So you're going to get a pacifier and then get the milk to its mouth? No, it's not going to do that. What does it do? It cries for the mother. It cries. It cries, the mother comes, right? The mother comes, and the mother feeds the baby. The baby's satisfied. The baby now falls off to sleep. Baby does lots of things, by the way, not to sleep. Mothers know that. So, fathers know that too, sometimes. So, point is that in the same way, by calling the holy name of the Lord, the holy name comes and lifts the consciousness to the transcendent level. Then the consciousness starts relating to the transcendent level. It's amazing how it happens. It's just mind-boggling how it happens. And it works every time. It's not like, I believe in the holy name, therefore it will happen. If I don't believe in the name, it won't happen. No. The Lord is so kind that anytime anybody calls out, even in jest, even against, some of us came into this movement against the holy name. There are stories, many stories. My story is one I don't tell my story, but there are stories that, there was a party going down on the road and they're singing the holy name and someone wanted to stop them and so he came in front of them and started saying, rascals, you satanic people, and what do you chant this? Krishna for Krishna, Krishna, like that. And so they're saying Krishna, right? So they're calling out the holy name. Now, they don't realize I'm calling out the holy name, even though I'm calling it out in anger and in rejection. The holy name is absolute. It's going to have effect anyway. And then later on, they start turning up at the temple, and they wonder why they joined the Hare Krishna movement. And then I was against them. Now I'm on this side. What happened? It's like a miraculous thing happened. It's why you'll notice a lot of times when you go on the road, people will do this when they hear the holy name. They don't even want it to go inside. If it goes inside, they've been told it has effect. So how do you avoid it? You can't avoid it because there are some people whose names are the holy name. There are people who are called Krishna and Christopher and Muhammad and all these different names. They're holy names. They're going to have effect, even though you don't believe in it, because the absolute truth is not subject to belief. It is not subject to what I was talking about earlier, the mind, the intelligence, the consciousness, the senses, not subject to these guys. It is beyond them. It has effect beyond them. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they have effect. And so this is the reason why you see Hare Krishna walking around with this type of big bag. Always wanting to chant, things like that. But they have that attachment. They realize that it has created great results for them in their lives. They become bright-faced, they're happy. We call the happy Haris. And if you look at how much funds we don't have much money. We tend to be very shoestring in everything we do because we're not focused on that. Our focus is the holy name. But we do have a lot of association with the holy name. That anybody will agree with. Hare Krishna is in the holy name. Those are two synonymous things. Hare Krishna's and finances, not so synonymous. Whereas generally the people in the world are more synonymous with finances. They want to be synonymous with finances. There's a little bit of a dichotomy there, but anyway, both are not fine. Finances also belong to the Lord. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question a little bit on a spiritual realm.
Please.
I got a cosmic download last April. On basically the art now I am devoting myself to. I've got hundreds of paintings in here. I'm down to 26. I got a cosmic download. I'm in gratitude all the time. That's the bliss.
Yes.
Never thought I'd have it, so there's gratefulness.
Yes.
In other countries I live in South America too, and there I'm accepted as artist about town. I don't get questioned. Here, when I say I'm an artist, I immediately get some fair hostility. But what do you really do? And I don't have another day job. I'm doing art full time. And I'm just curious because it's...
By the way, we get that all the time.
Really? Okay.
Why don't you guys get a real job?
Yeah, so I'm getting some of that. And I have to watch it because sometimes it makes me a little bristly and I'll get into, we're all hurtling to our death. Do what you enjoy. I get very, very intense with that. But I'm finding that in this land, I'm getting more challenging from other people being on this path than just about anywhere I've ever been. And and the Krishnas too. I know the same thing. How is it dealt with?
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's because the opportunity is greater here.
Here meaning the U.S.
In the U.S., the opportunity is greater. Whenever the opportunity is great, the challenge will also be greater. So please, when you see something very challenging, you should know you're onto something. You're onto something big now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the flag I'm getting around me has increased.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Because the energy is designed to challenge you. Because in challenging you, as you rise to the challenge, you become a greater person. If you look at sports people, they use what they call resistance training. What is resistance training? Resistance training is multiplying the challenge while you're doing the training. That's what resistance training is. And what happens at the end of the resistance training?
you're
The
stronger.
person becomes much better, much more powerful. They're able to do things that others cannot do. Sometimes I watch these football games, and these guys fall down so hard, they hit each other so hard, I wonder why their back doesn't go out, and I don't hit anything and my back goes out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know resistance training. They do resistance training. You see what I'm saying? So the capacity goes up.
Well, part two of this is I'm going overseas to a temple for 3 months. It's a particular temple that I'm called to go to, so I'm going.
Yeah.
And so part two of this is, how are you going to go? There's no money. You have no money. Blah, and I'm like,
not
that's
true.
faith. I'll make it. Don't worry about it.
Nothing. You don't worry about it. Exactly. You'll get the money. The money will come. Everything will come.
Yeah.
What you've got to do is really follow your heart.
Yeah.
Stay with your heart.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, the universe will supply everything to you.
Yeah.
That's happened over and over again. Every last person who's become wealthy in this world or successful, everything, they'll tell you their story. The same thing. They had faith that they could do something, and they worked on it, and they were relentless. The 5 elements, they say. To be really successful, you need the 5 elements. The first element is you need to have your proper focus. Don't have a focus, you're going to be splayed out. We call it splayed out. You've got multiple focuses, now you're achieving nothing. Get focused. Okay? First thing, huh?
Bhavana?
Sorry.
Is it the same, is synonymous with bhavana?
It will bring your focus, that's for sure, but it's not focus itself. So focus, example, stay on the positive side and keep moving forward, right? Third, let that choice that you make be your choice and nobody else's. Be sincere. Are you sincerely an artist? Ask yourself that question, answer that question, and move forward.
Yeah.
The fourth is be relentless. Never give up under any circumstance. A terrorist may give up, but I will not give up. I can terrorize a terrorist. That means I'm relentless. That means I'm relentless. We're not scared of terrorists. We love terrorists. Terrorists make us more terrorists than them. I'll only become stronger, not weaker. My resolve will only go higher, not less. Fifth, understand there is no state of hopelessness. No state. It's a mental state. This idea of hopelessness is a mental state. You never become hopeless. Understand that even if it looks like you're just about to, crash, just remember, you stick with it and the result will come. This is a saying amongst the Chinese. Just when you give up was the time when the result was about to come to you. And people have seen this again and again happening in their lives, those who stick with it. Just when they thought, hopeless, not going to happen, something happens.
Well, gratitude is the basic mantra. That's the
Gratitude is
underlying.
great. These 5 elements are written in our scriptures as the 5 elements that will bring you success at an unprecedented level. We are meant to be extraordinary beings, not ordinary beings. Problem in our lives is that we are ordinary. We need to be extraordinary. That is our purpose, to be extraordinary. So thank you very much. I'm glad you're a nice artist. Stick with it. You'll do whatever you want to do. You'll achieve your purpose.
It's automatic. It comes so strong.
Yes.
I actually don't feel like it's me. I feel like I'm just channeling.
And by the way, your previous life, activities will also come to you. You'll
Yeah.
notice. When you
I've
become
got
very
I've got
serious,
full recall of some
Yeah.
past lives, so
There you
that's
go.
part of what's
it
feeding
comes
me.
in. It just
Yeah.
comes right in.
Yeah, full
And
download.
supports you.
Thank you.
Miraculous things happen. Miraculous things happen when you do it this way.
Just keep both of your ears on.
What
Sorry.
was that called? 5 stages of what?
These are the five. These are the five elements of success. 5 elements. The 5 elements that bring about extraordinary success.
And this is mostly coming from
From our scriptures, where? You mean from where now? Bhakti? Oh, Bhagavad Gita? No, it's not Bhagavad Gita. It's not Bhagavad Gita. It's from Prabhupada himself. Expanding on the verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Explaining this book. It's amazing what each person can do. The problem in this world is ignorance. That's all it is. Okay? When somebody is not doing something and they're doing something wrong, it's ignorance. You look at Jesus' example, right? It's a perfect example. Jesus was such an extraordinary person, right? He wasn't an ordinary person anyway, he was the Lord. Point is that the spear is going through his heart, right? The spear is going through. What is he saying as the spear is going through his heart? Oh Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Look at his extraordinary intelligence. He's focused on his opportunity. He's not focused on the challenge. He's not thinking, ouch, 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 what are you doing to me?
No kidding.
Yes, it's hard, you know. I can tell you, somebody just says take a pin and poke it here, and I'll go, ouch. One little pin, and I'll go, ouch. Forget a spear going through the heart, you know what I mean? It's terrible. Look at his position. Look at how focused he was. And do you know why? So many people in this world today find success just by his story, just by his instructions and his activities. That's what you call an extraordinary person. And each and every one of us has the capacity. The problem is ignorance and laziness. These are the twin evils.
And what was the name of this kind of yogic power? There's a name for that.
Sorry, siddhis.
Cities.
Siddhis. Yeah, siddhis are good, but siddhis is not good enough. Not good enough. What you need is an attitude of humility, some humble attitude. That, you know, that we are created by the Lord, we are manifested by the Lord for a purpose. And we should live our purpose. We should live our purpose. It's like normally I'm sitting on a chair and I have a microphone and I say to people, how would it be if I use the microphone as a chair and I take the microphone, put it on the ground and I try and sit on it? And people start laughing at me, you know, you're trying to sit on the microphone. You know? Then I pick up the chair and I start speaking to the chair to amplify. Well, it's not going to work because the chair is not meant to be used as a microphone. And the microphone is not meant to be used as a chair. The same way, each and every one of us has a unique purpose. Do not live somebody else's life. You're not created to live somebody else's life. And here we are, hero worshippers. Oh, I love Obama. I think I want to be like Obama. Well, I'm sorry. You can't be Obama. Obama is already Obama. There's no vacancy. You know what I mean? Why can't you just be Vino or Charlie or whoever you are? And you can be just as good or even better. You know? Point is that people don't want to work. They love these things, but they don't want the work that goes with it, or the effort that goes with it, you know, or the love that goes with it, the happiness. If you really love something, it's never an effort.
Well, I use like cosmic cheerleader as my job title, which
Yeah.
seems to bother some people, but
Nice.
whatever.
Nice.
And I get
That's a nice
asked
title.
like, how do you
Cosmic
paint?
cheerleader.
How do you paint?
You should go to the Arizona Diamondbacks and tell them, you know, that I'm a cosmic cheerleader. I
Yay
can
everybody!
replace-
No, yay everybody!
I can make your cheerleaders do things that are extraordinary. They might pay you a lot of money.
Well, what's funny on the art is I get people, you know, how do you paint like that? I need a lesson, and I'm like, you get a canvas and you get some paint and you paint, and they're like, no, but how do you do it?
How do you do it?
How? There is no other method.
Yes.
Talking about sustainability again, and in the vision statement, and that in order for us to be naturally situated. We have to be like a pendulum swinging God's will, like that. So a lot of times, our vision statements, we get too
The
short-sighted.
pendulum swing is not God's will.
Or we swing with
No,
God's.
pendulum swinging is the holy name.
Okay.
Get in with the holy name, swing with the holy name. That's what I'm saying. It's the holy name. Get on the holy name and swing. Sometimes they show these things like there's a huge pendulum and someone is sitting on a pendulum and swinging with a pendulum. So I have that picture of being with the pendulum. Be with the holy name. Become intimate with the holy name, like that.
A lot of times, the vision.
And that includes. You're right. It does include the Lord's mercy and the Lord's will. It automatically include. Go ahead, sorry.
And the vision, a lot of times our vision is that we get caught up in the short-sighted vision.
Yeah.
And we don't see, well, is it really sustainable?
Yeah.
We get like, okay, let's have this big sustainable goal, which has to be spiritual. Because if it's material,
Sure.
then it's temporary.
Yeah, but it's okay, even if it starts material, it's just like education, right? If you want to get to university, you got to start at pre-K, right? And then kindergarten, then elementary school, middle school. So even if someone doesn't have a very high vision and a sustainable vision, but it is more sustainable than where they're at right now, that's a positive directional thing. Encourage them. It's just like when you have little children and they're writing A, B, C, D, we encourage them, right? Oh, you wrote your A so nicely, you're so smart, you're the best. Here's your red star. You got an award for writing A problem. So we got to encourage people. We got to fan their enthusiasm, because as it is, people become discouraged very quickly in this world. We become very quickly discouraged. A few people have to come and tell us I'm a failure, and I'm already thinking I'm a failure. That's all it takes. It doesn't take many people. You loser, you loser, you loser. And I'm thinking, I'm a loser. The Lord never designed us to be losers. He's not a loser. Losers come from losers. We didn't come from a loser. We came from a winner. There's no question of losing. Even if I want to lose, I can't lose. I can try as hard as I want, I still won't lose. It's not going to lose. So how am I going to lose? I'm not a chair, So I'm not a microphone. So how am I going to, have it work like a microphone? No, I am what I am. Every person has been designed for ultimate success, not just success. Ultimate. That's what I call US. Ultimate success. You're in the US now, man. Come on. Your initials are right, man. Ultimate success, always. USA. Use your own initials. Move forward. I don't even come from Fiji. I come from Fiji. Bhutan is such a tiny country in the world. Most people don't even know where Fiji. Most people think it's some mountain in Japan.
They were eating humans just 100 years ago.
Yeah, they were eating humans. We're cannibals. If I have all these habits and you Americans, come on.
Are they still eating people?
You're born with, yeah.
They are, right?
Yeah, it's still going on. My point is, you're born in the land of milk and honey. You have to just put your hand up and you can catch all the dollar bills flying around. How easy it's to make money down here compared to Fiji. The average income of a person in Fiji per month is $200. In China, it's $60. China is one of the wealthiest countries now in the world, with $60 income per month. What are they doing that we're not doing? Those guys, their word for crisis is opportunity. Our word for opportunity is crisis. Everything is a crisis. It's always a crisis. This crisis, that crisis, solve this crisis, solve that crisis. I don't know what went wrong with us. We were doing quite well for a while. Somehow we just started, going off in another direction.
As somebody who's been out of the country a number of years, I've noticed it's like people are drowning in a sea of wealth, yet they feel lack. It's the strangest thing to watch.
Exactly, it's true. It's actually true. We became wealthy, and now we have this feeling of lack. Whereas others are hungry and they're doing something to achieve. They're not looking at the fact that they don't have an iPad or an iPad Air or iPhone 5S, or Samsung Galaxy Note 3. You got to get our priorities right. We're making others richer, you know. It's like Samsung is a Korean company, you know. They're making billions of dollars out of us.
Well, they're called smartphones. I
Yeah.
personally bought one because I thought it would make up for some of my stupid.
But actually, it makes you more
That was
stupid
the
because it
set.
tells you, don't be smart, I'll be smart for you. And then you become more stupid. The other day, we were traveling from Philadelphia Temple to a program. And this program was 5 minutes away. We were told it's 5 minutes away. Please, can you come now to the program? So we went, okay. So this guy put on his iPhone and we put the address on the iPhone. Half an hour later, and we'd come back to the same place 3 times. I said, look, we're going in circles here. It's bringing us to the same place again. This is not right. So I took out mine and I put it on mine, you know, and we found it in 5 minutes. And I said, I heard about this, that iPhone's navigation system doesn't work as well, you know, and yet it's the best phone in the world. But you know, everything has its own issues, you know. Fact is, you got to know where the strengths and weaknesses of everything is when you're using it.
Well, I use paper maps so I can pick my own route to where I want to go.
Yeah, that's true. Well, my point is that, you know, that happens. So, you know, we've got to be careful not to get caught in technology to the extent that we lose our intelligence.
Can we try to try to inspire a higher vision, yet encourage at the same time?
Yeah, of
So-
course, we
So
can.
encourage other
But
what
that,
they're
but that person must allow you to do that. Do not force yourself on another person, because it makes the other person feel small. It makes them feel like, you know, you're trying to tell me you know something and I don't. And that's not good when you deal with people. You don't do that with children either. No, you're not a parent yet. For those of us who are parents, we've learned this the hard way. But the real parent is the child. They're parenting us more than we're parenting them. You know, they teach us a lot when we're parenting them. So we got to deal with people like that. Come from the point of view that the person has great capacity, and if there's anything you can do to serve, to help in that process, to serve them, then they will accept you. But then they'll realize you're in it for their agenda, not your own agenda. And generally we come across our own agenda, and that's what puts people off big time. Because everybody's trying to do that. Everybody's got their scam, like they say. You know, scan 1, scan 2, scan 3, scan 4, you know. So which one are you? That's how people think. You know?
Don't we all intrinsically know our own God?
Yes, you're designed to intrinsically know. The point is that we become so dull, something has to bring out that intrinsicness again. It's a little like, you know, when a knife has a dull blade, if you whet it, then the sharp blade comes out. So there's a process of bringing that intrinsicness out. See? But if we were not covered by our dullness, then you're right, we're not designed to have to learn this. It's already innate in us. That learning is in us. You have to have a process of striking it to bring it out, just like a match. You strike it till the flame comes out. So the flame is intrinsically in the match. It just needs a strike to bring it out. So in the same way, there's a process of bringing out this intrinsicness. That's the and it's an independent process. It is not a group process. It's an individual process. So this is why the system of guru was there. Because the guru is a person who would know how to do that and then tell you how to do that. So you know how to do it, and that you can also unlock that secret for somebody else as well. And that's your repayment. So if I am your guru and I unlock the secret for you, then you unlock it for somebody else as a repayment to me. And that person does the same. It's not a financial thing. It's not a...
It's a passing of the baton.
It's passive. It's like, you know, all our hands are tied. One person's hands become untied. He unties this person's hand. That person unties it. That's the passive. Whereas most of the gurus in this world are not like that. They're in it for the accolades, for the money, for the recognition. They're called bogus gurus. And
You
this
say
world is
most?
Bogus.
But
Most.
you said most?
99.7% of them.
Of the gurus?
Yes, are bogus.
Really?
Okay, that's my number. I mean, generally it's 90% is what is the correct figure. My figure is 9. I'm a cynic like no cynic. I'm the most cynical person on the planet. So I think 99.7% of the gurus are bogus. But I think that figure is more accurately ranked around 90%. Accurately, it's more around 90%. But I think it's 99.7 because there's another level also you can go to and it becomes even harder, so it does become much less. So I'm a little more focused on that level, so I'm thinking like that. But anyway,
How does one detect truth in another?
person, your heart will tell you. Your heart is very smart. Stay with your heart. And your heart and your observation. Observe the person. See if that person has any agenda that that person is not actually speaking about. There's a hidden agenda there, you know. You can tell. If you're intuitive enough, build your intuition first of all. Build your ability to have intuition. If you have intuition, you can feel there's something not quite okay with this. Something amiss. You'll be able to tell. And over a period of time, you'll detect it. The fact is, the Lord is sitting in your heart. He from inside will direct you. But first, you've got to become true to yourself. You can't become true to yourself, you're never going to become true to the Lord. And then game over. You know, you wait for another lifetime. According to Lord Shiva, you wait for another 10,000 lifetimes. That's pretty nasty. 10,000 lifetimes, that's a lot of time. So yeah, stay, and then you know, association. If you're in the association of people who have that same purpose as you have, right? You look for honest relationships, decent relationships, value relationships that talk about bringing about the greatest potential in you. Then in that association, you'll find some more clues how to detect which guru is actually a bona fide guru, a real guru, a guru whose only purpose is my success, not his agenda. He doesn't have any agenda. His agenda is my agenda. I am his agenda.
What I've come to realize is that I am light, but I also attract in that light mosquitoes.
Yes. Again, it's conditioning. It's past conditioning. The conditioning brings about those mosquitoes, you see what I'm saying? So how do you cleanse that light? How do you become pure, purified? It's a process. And the process is the holy name. As you call out the holy name, you will become purified. It is the process. The guru is the representation of the holy name. The guru himself should be imbued with the holy name. So that the guru is so intimate with the holy name that he or she can give you the holy name.
What did you say the twin evils were?
Ignorance and laziness. Laziness. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Now we'll enjoy the most relishable part of this program, which is the feast.
More feet.
More feast.